Hey guys, okay, so we have another balance update. It's only been a week since the last one, but they're pretty active with balancing the game right now, and they're doing a really interesting thing in mobile auto chess. They're basically taking the highest win rate. Well, they're basically taking the highest win rate synergy and then they're nerfing it, and then taking the lowest win rate synergy and they are upping it. Which is really interesting in a way of just trying to like force the balance together. I think they'll always find that there is something that is strong and something that is weak. But I'm guessing they're trying to get the win rates for particular synergies as close as physically possible. Just my thoughts. Knight definitely needed nerfing. I think Knight combos with a lot of really good things. So for instance, Knight and Glacier Clan is one of the strongest combos in mobile auto chess. I think also Dragons and Knights obviously are really strong, so you have those two really strong combos. I think going Knights only can be a bit tricky. I think there are some things that counters it, but in general, Knights were really strong. Cave Clan has never really been a proper synergy. Cave Clan's been like a mid-game, early-game synergy to help you get win streaks, and Warlock has always been a supportive synergy as well. So these are getting buffs, but they're more, for my eyes, supportive synergies. Let's have a look at the actual changes. Knights decreased Knights 2 synergy trigger chance from 30% to 25%. So the 4 and 6 synergies remain the same. Remember, synergies in auto chess are stacking, so it's not like it goes from plus 200 to 300 HP on the Cave Clan. It goes plus 200, then you get an extra 300 HP, so it's 500 HP overall. So basically the Knight's chance overall has been decreased by 5%. So it's a 5% nerf to Knights. It's a very light nerf in my opinion, but it will make the difference in some very clutch situations. Lightblade Knight. Adjust the bounce of her blade from 357 times to 3545 times. That, I think cutting 2 bounces is pretty significant towards the end of the game. But overall, I still think Lightblade Knight will be a really, really good carry. Like, the bounces are just really good at ripping through front line, and if you can get a couple of bounces onto the back line, that's amazing. But it is a pretty big nerf to Lightblade Knight, who probably was one of the strongest pieces in the game. But I still think she'll be perfectly fine. If you want to play Lightblade Knight, she'll still work really well. She'll just be more on level with the likes of the other carries like Drow Ranger, Berserker, you know, the other kind of backline DPS carries that we've got. Warlocks have been reworked. Warlock synergy instead grants 20 to 30% lifesteal to Warlock synergy instead of granting 20 to 30% lifesteal to all of allied units, it now grants 15/25% lifesteal to attacks and spells of allied units. So this cuts down the warrior warlock synergy. It also cuts down like the knight warlock synergy, which was kind of going on. And now it can be applied to sort of the spells as well. The spells, I think, will affect things like assassins. It will affect things like mages. You could go mages warlock, or that's a really squishy composition. I wouldn't recommend it. It just gives a bit more variety to the warlocks. I'm trying to think what spells would be good. Like, for instance, warlocks would now work really well with things like Queen of Pain, because you'll get like a ridiculous amount of HP off your ultimate. Any big ultimate carries. It also affects warlocks themselves. That's really interesting, actually. It actually affects warlocks themselves, because if you think about it, Necromancer, Dark Spirit, Shadow Devil, they're all going to get self-healing from their spells now. So you might not even need to go mages. You actually might be able to play warlocks as their own kind of class, because they were never really supposed to be their own kind of class. But you could potentially go Necromancer, Dark Spirit, Shadow Devil, and you get your 15% lifesteal to everything, and that also then lifesteals off their own cast. I mean, imagine Dark Spirit dealing 4% max HP to everybody, but then healing for 15% of that damage every time he deals it. That's actually pretty good. And Warlocks could be really strong. I really want to test out Warlocks. Maybe we can play a game after this and see if we can play Warlocks. It's definitely something to have a go with. What would I combo it with, though? I'd still probably combo it with Knights or Warriors. I think you need a front line if you're going to play that Warlock strategy, so I think I'd still combo it with Knights or Warriors. Warriors have been nerfed. We'll talk about it. Shadow Devil update basic attack from 70 to 80. Okay, so they've basically given a decent update to the basic attack of Shadow Devil. So with a Shadow Devil update and Warlocks, I mean, that's a really good strategy we could work with. Cave Clans have been given basically 100 HP across the board when they've got their upgrades, which is nice for mid-game. It kind of offsets some of the damage, the defense nerf that Warriors are going to get. Skull Hunter Whirling Axe's damage increased, and they fixed the abnormal damage of 2 and 3 stars. So I'm guessing that's just fixing some of the poor damage. Because I always felt when I upgraded my Skull Hunter to level 2, he wasn't really doing any damage, and I couldn't really work out why. So maybe that was a fix there. Skull Hunter's like a pretty key piece when you're going for a hunter strategy, because you need some kind of addition to the front line when you're playing hunters, and Skull Hunter is a good addition to the front line. Kira. Reworked Kira synergy. Instead of plus 10% max HP for all allied Kira, Kira now grants plus 5% max HP for all allies. That's interesting. If you think about... Well, let's think about the average HP of like a level 3 knight or warrior. It's like 2,006. I mean, we could have a look at it in a minute, but... in fact, let's have a look now. Illustrated chess pieces. Let's go... I don't know. Let's just take Tusker. And then we'll go to level 3. Yeah, 2,600. So if you take 5% of that is 130. It's an extra 130 HP. It's not actually a huge amount of HP, even at level 3. It's less than the Cave Clan bonus. But 130 HP across all of your units, that'll add up quite significantly. So that's actually a pretty cool addition. But then you have to then think about including a Kira in your lineup. But I could see Kira going into a lineup with warlocks and warriors, for sure. If I went 3 warlocks, you'd need to go 6 warriors though, wouldn't you? Then add a Kira at the end. You could go 3 warlocks, 4 knights, and then 1 Kira. 3 warlocks, 1 knights, and 1 Kira. That's an 8-piece. I might try that if we get the opportunity to. I'd like to see how that goes. Warriors have been updated. Synergy plus 678 armor to plus 579 armor. So something that I didn't know, and I got corrected on my Reddit by a guy called Jesse Perez. I think that's how you say his name. Go and check out his YouTube channel, by the way. I will link it in the description below. He's actually got a really, really cool YouTube channel that does a lot of like really in-depth analysis for this game. This is stacking. So it goes 6, then to 13, then to 21. Now it goes 5, then to 12, then to 21, 31, 21, then 5, then to 12, then to 21. So you get basically a 1 armor cut off the mid game, and a 1 armor cut off the early game as well. 1 armor is fairly significant, although the overall damage reduction I think most people won't realize. But it's a small nerf to warriors. Don't get this like twisted. It's not like a ridiculous nerf to warriors. It's a small nerf to warriors. You have to go for the full 9 warrior to get the previous defense combo, but you only lose 1 armor overall. At 6. You will notice the difference. You definitely will notice the difference, and it does make 6 warrior combos a little bit more difficult to pull off. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a bit about the same kind of... I reckon it's about the same kind of nerf that knights are getting overall. Fallen Witcher updated Metamorphosis bonus attack. He's got an extra 50 bonus attack at rank 1 and rank 2. I always felt Fallen Witcher at level 1 was underwhelming, and I often, when I was comboing him with a backline, he'd steal the health from my backline, and then he wouldn't do enough damage to make up for it. This might mean that he gets enough damage in Metamorphosis, which might make... I mean, 50 damage is a lot, right? 50 damage is a lot. He could be a really, really good carry unit. In fact, I think there is a real case for a proper demon strategy now. Like, demons were never really a good strategy. A lot of people like to pick demons individually for their lineups, and the reason demons have always been a tough strategy to make work is that people like to pick demons for their lineups, and then they put them in individually because demons bonus are by themselves, right? So the demon bonus by themselves meant that people never really wanted to go for demons because you were competing with everybody for at least 1 demon. That's the problem with the demon strategy. So yeah, but we could maybe see a bit more demon strategies coming out. Water Spirit updated Water Spirit basic attack. That's nice, a basic attack upgrade for Water Spirit. He was always underwhelming as an assassin. He's kind of a tank assassin, and he dives to the backline with his ultimate, so he tanks at the beginning, gets that ultimate, and then dives in. So that's a nice update for him. I like that. Tortola Elder fixed the problem that Kamehameha cannot deal damage to enemy pieces in some particular situations. I love that the Tortola Elder is called Kamehameha Wave from Dragon Ball Z. That's actually hilarious. And I guess it's just there was some situations where it wasn't dealing damage properly. Right, that is everything. So essentially, I think like a 4 knight, 3 warlock, 1 Kira strategy could actually work out really well. I'm going to try that if I can in the next game. No promises, because sometimes it just doesn't work out and I kind of want to win. But I'll give it a go if I can.